We're gonna try this again. So essentially, I'm testing out this YouTube Live. I'm charging my car, and I want to see how well this works. So we'll see if anybody decides to jump on, and if they do, then maybe we'll have a conversation. So hopefully somebody jumps on. I've been driving all day, man. I've been driving since like 7 this morning, maybe 8. But you hear that noise? That noise is actually the fan in my car, like running. Let me see if I can spin this around. Let's see. What up, William? Let's see, you can hear that, right? I got a fan. It's under there somewhere. Anyway, I got a big old fan underneath there. And it's really loud right now. Because the battery pack, when it charges, it's got to be at a certain temperature. So if it's, like right now, it's just too hot. So the fans come on to cool everything off. That's what it's doing. So I got to charge my car up so I can get enough charge to get rest of the way to Tennessee. I'm headed to Tennessee. And I'm actually in Kentucky right now. This is like it's my third stop already. So this is my last stop before I get to Tennessee. But you know, I never really do a YouTube Live. So I was like, let me try that. Let me go ahead and try that now while I can. And you're probably wondering, like, why is my hood up? Well, to be quite honest with you, it's because I'm tired of sitting in my car. Luckily, like the car, it has what's called a frunk, which is like a front trunk. And I have like made a seat out of the front trunk so I can sit in it. So I can actually sit outside of my car while it's charging as opposed to sitting in it. Because, you know, I mean, basically you're sitting in your car the whole time. So this is a way to get outside of the car. And it's nice outside, right? It's a beautiful day out here. So I'm like, I might as well try this YouTube Live thing, and I might as well try it sitting in the front of my car. So that's what I'm doing. I bowled Nationals this week, so that's gonna be kind of interesting. I bowled USBC Nationals in Las Vegas, so I'll be headed out there, I think Thursday, Friday this week. Headed out there to do some bowling. It's always a humbling experience out there because the pattern is very flat, it's very hard, and you've got to make really good shots. And if you haven't bowled a lot, unfortunately like me, then it becomes frustrating because you are used to bowling really well, and on that environment, it's much harder to do. So I'm gonna try to get some practice. I bowl with my dad, Dustin. I bowl Nationals with my dad and some guys. I bowl with Muldrow too, Chris Muldrow. He's one of my good friends. We've been friends forever. So yeah, so I gotta go do that this week, and I am gonna practice. I'm gonna practice probably, if not today, tomorrow for sure. And then when I get out there, I'm gonna make sure I spend some money out there to go get some good practice, because you mess around and don't practice, you will bowl like a donkey. And that is no fun. Nobody wants to bowl like a donkey. Nobody, it's just not a good look. Anyway, what other bowling thoughts do I have? I've been thinking a lot about some bowling stuff, man, but it's just been more like product related, that kind of stuff. Not really just like the other kind of bowling related stuff that we would typically do. So yeah, I'm telling you, if you go to Nationals, man, it's rough, bro. You can shoot 100, you can shoot. I remember last year at Nationals, I started out gutter 9, threw the ball right in the gutter. So bad look for sure. You just gotta make good shots. So definitely wanna. I got a Josh. I got a 90D. And I've actually got almost right at 90,000 miles on this car. I bought it 2 years ago, and I love it. And I get free supercharging, so that's cool. So even though I'm at the supercharger right now, you can see. Hold on, you can see. I'm at the supercharger right now. It don't cost nothing. Just free electricity. Hampton Inn is actually a really nice Hampton Inn, by the way. They treat Tesla customers really nice over here. What I mean by that is, like, you can go in and they have tea and cookies, and they're real nice people, real nice people. So definitely a good place to stop and get a little charge. So that's kind of what's going on with that. You know, I mean, I used to hate driving, to be honest with you, but ever since I got this car, I actually like driving. I think a lot of it's due to the fact that I'm a tech guy. There's a lot of technology in this car, and every 2-3-4 weeks they send us something new as an update, so it gets better and better and better. So like now, it navigates on autopilot. And autopilot's like it's like the autonomous driving feature, and it's not really autonomous. You got to pay attention. You got to kind of make sure you're kind of in control, but at the same token, the car technically is driving for you. No foot on the pedal, no hands on the steering wheel. So it definitely it's definitely a lot less like driving and more like riding. So what company would you say makes the worst balls on the market? I don't know. I think all of them make some good ones and some bad ones. I think overall, for like an overall product line, that may be a little tricky because there's some good and bad in all of them, right? I think the one that kind of stuck out of my mind immediately was probably Columbia. I think their product line is probably one of the weakest ones right now, from just an actual brand, not EBI the brand, but I think the Columbia product line is probably the weakest product line out right now. But I think overall as a company, they got 4 different brands. I think overall as a company, they've got some really good balls and some really good brands in their portfolio. But that's the one that kind of stuck out in my mind immediately was Columbia. So that's kind of my opinion on that. But yeah, so I think everybody makes good bowling balls and everybody makes bad ones. Honestly, I think it's really a combination of being able to find the good ones and then recreate the good ones over and over again. That's so hard to do. I think a lot of companies will have a really, really stellar ball and they'll follow it up with a crappy ball. And I think that really sucks because then it's hard for the consumer to be able to catch on, because by the time the first ball catches on, the company's ready to go to the next ball, so the consumer is excited about the next ball and then they're let down again because it ain't as good as the first one. So I think it happens all the time. So I don't know so much why that is. I mean, I used to be part of that cycle, so to speak, and it was always because we always wanted to change things. So I think if you want to change things all the time, that's what happens. So that's just part of the situation. And I think overall performance-wise, I think it really depends on what you're looking for too, right? Like each of the ball companies has kind of their distinctive, what I would say, characteristic best ball motion, and I think depending on what you're looking for, that can vary what company you may find to be best and you may find to be worse for you. So it is a little bit more of a judgment call. I mean, if you throw it really hard, you may find that storm balls don't roll so well for you because storm balls tend to be longer, more angular, and you might find brother balls are a little bit better for you because they tend to pick up earlier. So, it's a function of kind of how you throw the ball too. That's why we really preach about the 4 types of ball motion. Traction, continuous, angular, and straight, and we really try to educate people on the 4 types of ball motion, because knowing that obviously will help you pick bowling balls that are good for your game and will help you have bowling balls that are good for whatever you're trying to bowl on, because you'll be able to cover the ball motions that are available. So Urethane's got a big comeback, so to speak, as of recent, and I think a lot of that, it's kind of interesting. I don't know that it's necessarily good or bad, but it's definitely interesting to say the least. Let me see where my car charger's at, man. Let me see. I've been on here for 8 minutes, and I went inside first. So let me see where I'm at on this charge. Let's see. Y'all want to see where I'm at on this charge too? Let me get in here. I'll show y'all where I'm at on this charge. Let's see. So it says we are at 57% on the battery, which we're gonna charge for a little bit longer. That's not really, we want to have more than that, especially to get where we're going to. So we'll let it charge for a little bit more. But man, you know what? I can show y'all something kind of cool. Watch this move. Hang on. I don't really want y'all to see where I live at, so I gotta move this around a little bit. Okay, so watch this. So if I hit this right here, right? It's called it puts the car in fireplace mode, right? No, romantic mode, I think is what it's called. So it's got some Al Green playing, got a nice little fire pit. Now you can't really, you see the little lines, but that's just because of I guess there we go. Now it's gone. So there you can see actually, and what's bad is it's blowing out hot air now. So this is like hot air, and then it's got laid down by Al Green. It's called romantic mode, man. But this is why I love Tesla, because they always just put some really cool things in their cars. Let me back that out. We want to get off of that and go back over here. Anyway, I don't want to be it's already hot enough as it is outside. It's 86 degrees outside, so we don't really need no extra heat. Let me see what else I can show you. I really want to show you where I live at. I'm not trying to do that. But yeah, the car does all kinds of stuff. Look, these are all these little extra things it does. We got Atari games in here, so we can play Atari games if we want. We got a whoopee cushion. We got all kinds of other little things that they be putting in here. So that's one of the reasons why I like Tesla so much. I actually do a model. I do a lot of the stuff that we do is kind of, I don't want to say modeled after Tesla, but I would say inspired by Tesla, right? I think Tesla's a very, very forward-thinking company. They do things a lot differently than everybody else. They get a lot of crap given to them for that too. But I think overall their idea is in the right vein and they're directionally correct. So I follow them a lot. I like to do what they do, and they inspire me in a lot of ways. So that's just kind of my thought on that. Back to this bowling thing though, man. Like, oh, there's a cop. How are you? So there's a sheriff that just drove past me, and he's probably gonna come back and ask me questions, maybe not, we'll see. That'll be funny if he does, because I got my camera on here, so I would just like turn the camera around and you'd have a conversation with a officer. So we'll see. Anyway, using that purple stuff made my average go up 15 pins. Man, I appreciate that. That's good. That's good. You know, we're just trying to do what we can from an educational standpoint. You know, we like to educate bowlers because that's how you get better. That's one of the ways you can get better. Obviously, there's no substitution for practice. Practice is really how you get to become your best. But having some education is important too. You know, having some education and learning and understanding things and how they really are can really help your bowling too. I know for a fact that if you are a bowler that definitely gets to, that has a lot of knowledge about the game and a lot of knowledge about surface and those kind of things, you can make up for some of your mistakes, right? Some of your mistakes that you may have can actually get masked because you can have the right ball motion. I think when people bowl their best, it's a combination of throwing it good first, and then that's followed by having the right ball motion and being in the right part of the lane. When you have all those three things working together, then you have a lot of area to strike, and that's how you bowl your best. Pretty simple process. Very hard to do on a consistent basis, but pretty simple, I guess, simple concept to understand in terms of what it actually is. So I like this. I like this YouTube live. I normally do a lot of Facebook lives, but I like this. So we will have some more stuff on that big fluffy pad, man. You know, the big fluffy pad's going to get a little innovation to it. We were kind of thinking about that not several years ago, but at least a year ago. We've been working on some innovation with the big fluffy pad. And the national staff's going to get that product first. Obviously, they're going to get to use it and give us some feedback. We're really excited about that. That's one of the things that's kind of cool. Like anytime you have rules or rules change, it's an opportunity for you to grow and get better. And for us, we like rule changes because it allows us to innovate, showcase our innovation, and move forward. You know, we did that real recently. The last innovation we did was with the polish. You know, a hand-applied polish, and before that we did the scuff mark remover, which is kind of unique because it definitely gets rid of scuff marks better than anything else out there, including ball cleaners. And you know, that's just kind of the direction we're headed. So we have a big fluffy pad. It's a dry towel. We're going to keep it dry, but we're going to innovate in that space once again here coming in June. So really excited about that. And we got lots of stuff coming, man. Lots of just little innovations like that, you know, coming down the line, and definitely excited about that. We're growing so fast. It's ridiculous how fast we're growing. We actually are trying to be able to keep up with all the growth, actually. And I can't believe that what was started a little less than 5 years ago is where it's at today. Definitely very grateful. Grateful to be in the position that we're in. Grateful to be able to be here helping bowlers, you know. It's just a lot of fun. It's a lot of work, but a lot of fun. That's something I want to talk about for a quick minute. Let's talk about that for a quick minute. So let's talk about work and putting in work. You know, one of the things that I do kind of see out there is a lot of people, they want to have like the end results that they see, but they don't want to put the work in to get them. So like a lot of people are like, man, I want to get healthy, I want to get physically fit, but they're not willing to put in the work. They're like, I go to the gym every day. I go to the gym 4 or 5 times a week, but they're not really putting in all the work, right? Because it's more than going to the gym. It's really about how you eat. If you're still willing to go get that pizza or still willing to go get those donuts, then you're not going to get that six-pack. It's just not going to happen. And I'm not saying that because I don't have a six-pack either. And I do work out a lot. But I believe that if you really want to get somewhere, you got to be willing to put in all the work. And sometimes what may seem like the easy way or a shortcut, it won't get you there long term. And I think probably the weight loss and being healthy is a good example of that, because if you don't do both, you have to be willing to put in the work, physically work it out, and in the kitchen, eating the right kind of things, or else it doesn't, or else you don't get the end result. You end up with a non-six-pack and whatever. Maybe a little healthier, but not as healthy as you can be. So I struggle with that still to this day. I still struggle with the eating part. I try to make better choices. I try to make more consistent choices, because I know that's really ultimately what's going to come down to. But at the end of the day, I could probably lose another 10 pounds. Yeah. I could probably lose another 10 pounds. So, just gotta get on that eating. You just gotta get on the eating train, eating the right kind of stuff and doing it the right kind of way. So I go to the gym all the time, but you ain't eating it right, it don't matter. You can't. Somebody told me the other day, I read somewhere, somebody said, you can't outrun a Big Mac. And that's the truth. You really can't outrun a Big Mac, right? It's just not possible. So don't be lazy, man. Put in the work. If you want to get to your goals, you want to get to your dreams, put in the work. People say, hey, you know, you got a nice fancy car or whatever. Well, put in the work and you can have a nice fancy car too. It's a lot of work. It just really is. Let me see where I'm at now. So we're almost at a good spot. Yeah. I like that. So I think we're going to probably take off now. Well, this is my first time trying this YouTube live thing. I appreciate you guys jumping on here with me and letting me rant for a little bit. And maybe I'll do more of this. You guys like this? Maybe I'll do more of this, come up with some more stuff to talk about on YouTube Live. I guess what I'm going to do for now is I'm going to jump off here. I'm going to shut the hood of my car. I'm going to jump off here and continue my drive down the road. So with that being said, I'm out of here. CEO Ronald from Creating a Difference. Talk to you guys soon. As soon as I figure out